If an organization signs on to the Gender Identity Bill of Rights, it's an invitation for people to be themselves. Unless you pull up that chair and you invite people to belong, they're never going to. This isn't an outfit that you put on and go out in. This is who you are. My name's Ewan Wolf. I use they, them pronouns. I'm a non-binary veterinarian, and I'm an internal medicine specialist. The Gender Identity Bill of Rights is a group of 12 rights that go through and define different aspects of basic things that are needed for existence within the field. These are things that people take for granted who do not have a gender diverse identity. And so really what we're trying to do is set a baseline that makes people closer to being like everyone else. Frequently, people from marginalized groups don't necessarily get to set policy because policy implies that you were the one at the table making decisions. But what marginalized groups do know is they know discrimination when they see it. There are companies out there, there are schools out there, there are people, there are organizations, and I hope the entire profession that will make a commitment to saying this is a place where you can exist. That this is a workplace that is trying to meet the minimum goals of acceptance. It is a starting place. I grew up with significant bullying, in part because of my gender identity, because people's assumption about my sexual orientation. I have been through a lot with my husband. We had some significant civil rights and medical discrimination problems when he was going through his transition. This is very personal for me. This is our lives on a daily basis. And so for me, when I look at this document, I see something that helps me exist as who I am and not as who I'm not. Just like everybody else, I trained for years to treat animals in this field. And I think that I do a better job treating animals as myself and dealing with people as myself than wearing an outfit that I put on. The Gender Identity Bill of Rights, I wrote it with Erica Hendel and Jenna Ward. Then we also had a group of reviewers who went through, and those reviewers were primarily people from the gender diverse communities, reading through and saying, hey, that sounds good, but could you include this? We also had some transgender activists who came through, and then we had legal review. We had lawyers go ahead and read through that. A social worker looked through it. People from HR were working like night and day on this thing. And the document really reflects that. It reflects this kind of pooled resource. And so when you read that document, you are reading a collective effort. If you go to the PrideVMC website, there's a resources tab in the top right corner. You click on that menu button, and it's one of the first resources on the tab, the Gender Identity Bill of Rights. When you open it, there's a little blue bar that you can click on to sign. And then you have the option, if you're an organization, a company, a school, institution, the profession, to go ahead and upload your logo. Individual signatures matter. When you put your name on a document, there will be a lot of people who know your name. And if you sit and you look at the document and you look at the people who have signed, there are a lot of people who may be your friends, they may be your coworkers, they may be the nurse that you used to work with at another practice, or even some names that may surprise you along the way. When people vote, they vote with their feet. Any effort that you make to sign this document is an effort that brings other people along. It's also demonstrating a personal commitment to helping other people to be themselves. The LGBTQ+ community is amazingly intersectional. If you belong to one community, you may well have a lot of members of your community who are transgender, non-binary, and gender non-conforming. For me, this is visceral work, and I would bet you 100% that for everyone who works on this, this is deeply visceral work for them. I would like to have there be a day where people did not suffer as much. We're a lot of hardworking people in this field. And we just want the same that everybody else wants, which is to treat animals and make them better.